What's going on, Eagles Nation? This is Mr. 215. Just doing a real quick video on my thoughts on Doug Pederson being the new head coach. I know I'm mad late, but people just been asking me so much in my opinion on Doug Pederson being the head coach. I figured I'd do a real quick video. Now, my issue is not so much Doug Pederson being a new head coach. I went into this coaching search really humble, not really expecting that much, to be real with you. My issue was the whole process that we went about getting that head coach. Couple of my issues. My first issue, like I told a lot of y'all, I wanted a defensive-minded head coach, a coach with a defensive background. We don't interview not one fucking defensive coordinator or defensive-minded head coach. We don't interview Sean McDermott. We don't interview Terrell Austin. We don't interview Matt Patricia. We don't interview no defensive-minded head coach. Another one of my issues is that all the conflicting reports that was coming out, that first it was Ben McAdoo was the top candidate. Then it was Doug Pederson. Then it was Tom Coughlin. Then it went back to Ben McAdoo. And it really seemed like we didn't start moving on anybody until Ben McAdoo got hired, which kind of made the Doug Pederson hire look like a panic hire at first. Then another one of my issues is that Hugh Jackson and Adam Gase were like the top premier candidates. We don't even bother to get them through the door. We don't interview those two motherfuckers at all. That really don't make no sense to me whatsoever. And it kind of seemed like that Howie wanted somebody that he could somewhat control that's not going to challenge him. That's what it seemed like to me. I do kind of feel like Doug Pederson was the safe freaking hire. And then this is my last issue. Why is the organization going to Andy Reid as far as trying to hire their next head coach? And I'm not just talking about the whole Doug Pederson thing. I'm talking about they were going to Andy Reid as far as quality and traits of a head coach and what to look for. Howie Roseman, if you the fucking GM and you've been the GM for damn near I don't know how long, but for a minute, how the fuck don't you know what qualities you looking for in a head coach? That shit just don't make no sense to me. Like, how don't you know that? That you got to go to Andy Reid? They lucky I wasn't Andy Reid, because I would have told them they can kiss my ass. And this whole thing of trying to rebuild the Andy Reid era, I love Andy Reid. I think he was one of the best coaches, not the best, but he was one of the best coaches in Eagles history. But last time I recall, Andy Reid ain't get us no fucking Super Bowl rings. So why are we trying to rebuild the whole Andy Reid era? That just doesn't make any sense to me. And I'm just gonna let y'all know this. Don't expect for me to be posting all this stuff talking about Super Bowl and playoffs. I'm just letting y'all know I'm going in this offseason very, very humble. If I could say one thing about this season has made me very, very humble. And we got to be realistic, Eagles Nation. So if you want to hear about Super Bowl or playoffs or a hashtag for Doug Pederson, I'm just letting y'all know. Go on somebody else's page, because y'all just going to get the real with me. I don't know what we going to do. It's just going to be interesting to see how Doug Pederson do. Like, I'm hoping that he do his thing. I really do. He just got to, hopefully, he get a good staff in there, get a good defensive coordinator, but we'll see. But just remember, we all in this together. But just, leave a comment below. How do you feel about Doug Pederson being the head coach? I know half of y'all didn't want this motherfucker, but, hey, we just got to stay positive. But just leave a comment below and just holler at me. All right, this is Mr. 215.